Pet-friendly communities, they outperform, and the stats are there. We know that listings that allow pets, they get more views, more saves, more shares. And according to a Zillow report, pet-friendly units rent quicker, about 8 days faster on average. And we see that now more and more renters are coming with pets. 6 in 10 renters report having a pet. That's up 46% since before the pandemic. So this is now the majority of our renter profile, which is insane. And almost half of potential renters say they passed on a property because it wasn't pet friendly. So we know that pet friendly is a way to have a competitive advantage, but here's where most communities end up missing the mark. They're repeating the same event year after year and they expect the same engagement. Today's Try It is about refreshing something that's familiar and turning it into a low lift moment of connection that feels thoughtful, it feels seasonal, and it feels intentional. And this one's just a little bit more special. Now, if you're a Spark member, that's exactly what you're going to find inside of your Spark resource kit this month. Everything to put this event together is inside and you're going to love it. If you're not, go to sparkwithsprout.com because we don't want you doing any of the heavy lifting. Now, let's start with shifting our thinking for a minute. Now, instead of saying, oh, what pet event should we do? It's how can we make pet friendly or pet forward living feel visible right now through an event? So this is the lens that we're going to be looking at through this week's Try It. Not only are we going to talk about hosting an event, but we're going to say, how do we use that event for our marketing and our social media, and then to build long-term retention. So what is the Try It? It is the Winter Paw Bar. So it's like a little bit of an elevated seasonal pet event. And this can live in two forms depending on what your bandwidth is right now. You can do it as a grab and go paw bar with some prepackaged treats, or you can do a full paw bar setup with treats, toys, and a little extra flair, maybe even a photo booth. We'll get into the details, but I want you to know that both work, they both count, and they're both going to create an impact. Just do what you have the capacity for. So how do we execute it? With a grab and go version, you can do something really simple like little pet treats in a bag with a little label or your marketing flyer to go. So you set up a table or a counter, maybe some decor, a few bowls. If you don't want to pre-package, you can just even have it in a jar with no bag and it's grab a treat and go. Something super, super simple with a seasonal flair. You can also do, like I said, goodie bags that have the crinkle paper that has some pretty signs. Inside of the Spark Kit, we even have a beautiful sign that you can print to make it feel like a party. Now, this works well if your team is very stretched or you just want something that can be quietly running in the background while you're running your operations. I will say put it somewhere that people can see you. And so that way you have the opportunity to have a face-to-face conversation if somebody comes up and grabs a treat. And say, if you don't know their pet's name, ask them, what remind me your pet's name again? Or if you do know it, bonus points and say, hey, how is Lincoln doing? They'll immediately perk up. Now, if you do have the capacity, you could do something fun like our full paw version. And if you go to the blog for this episode, you'll see how our team completely set this up. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has that blue, icy blue, and the snow feel. So there's multiple treat options. We have tennis balls and different squeakers that they can take. There's gift bags with the tags. The tags are also included in your Spark resource kit. You can add string lights, faux snow, and paw print cutouts. And then even set up a simple photo moment and have it where they bring in their pets and they can take a picture with their pet. Maybe even some props could be really fun. It's still simple. It's just a little more fun, but it will take a little bit more effort. Now, this is going to work because pet-focused touch points, they create an emotional connection fast. I've shared this before, but there's this coffee shop that's really close by and I like the coffee. It's not actually my favorite, but they have the best pet treats. And so if I have the dogs with me, I'm going to that coffee shop. And they always ask, are your pups in the car? And they'll even sometimes come out and look at them. And it just means the world to me. The dogs love it too. So winter is actually this extra bonus point because I know for me as a dog owner, sometimes the weather's yucky and it just feels like it's not as fun to take your dogs out. This gives them something with intention to do, and it provides a cozy gesture that makes residents feel appreciated. And don't worry if the attendance isn't huge, right? We're talking about events that we can repeat over and over. This is about the frequency of positive touch points. Those are the things that add up that help us create better retention rates. So when residents feel like their pets are part of the community, they're going to feel more rooted in the community. And that is retention energy, my friend. That's a strategy that you have to remember, right? It's making people feel seen and loved and valued for what's important to them. And if they have a pet, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, it's going to be through their pets. So let's talk how we can make this last beyond and help us serve some of our other purposes or other goals. After you take a ton of pictures, make an album on social media and then send a thank you to your residents for coming out and link there to the album and encourage them to follow if they haven't already. You could even do like little paw prints in the email and then a follow, right? So it sticks with the theme. And encourage them to leave a comment on what was their favorite part. Now, as a marketing tip is you can use this as a quiet differentiator. Again, there's a lot of communities that say they're pet friendly, but you can really showcase this by capturing the setup, taking pictures, taking videos, taking some photos of the actual pets, and then including it in any of your marketing assets, right? Where pet friendly isn't a feature here, it's part of how we do community. Pet friendly isn't a checkbox here, it's how we show up. Pet friendly living that actually feels friendly. I love this tagline because I think a lot of pet owners feel that the communities say they are, but they don't actually feel it. A community that understands that pets are part of the decision. So this is positioning your community as literally pet forward. And you can put it everywhere on your email signatures, your website listings, your ILSs. Make sure that this is something that you're really leading with. Same thing with social media. Pet content, it just performs. We see that across the board by posting a photo or short video, even a really cute like B-roll of just little wagging tails or people getting treats, mainly of the dogs, right? Or the cats, whatever is coming. I'm assuming it's mainly going to be dogs. But that specifically, when you post video with then like something over the top that says winter treats for the ones who greet us every day with a smile, or for the pets who turn an apartment into a home, because the best neighbors walk on 4 legs, or home feels better with paws. These are some of the taglines I really like. There's also a great trend that's been going around, and it might still be for a while, and it's usually like something, an interaction with a pet, and it says, how do you explain this feeling to someone that doesn't have a dog or a cat? And it's a pet looking so lovingly or wagging their tail or jumping up for joy. You could capture these moments and do a series like that. And that really is a way to kind of marry a trend with pet friendly and forward living. So no overthinking, just warmth. Remember what pulls at the emotional heartstrings. Look for pet content that pulls at your heartstrings, and then you can easily replicate it with content that you've now shot at your community. So inside of Spark, you're going to find everything to make this event come to life. You'll find a customizable Winter Paw bar invite, a party sign, and editable gift tags. You can use one, use them all, or use whatever fits your week. If you're not there yet, go to sparkwithsprout.com, because come on, why are we doing things from scratch in 2026 when we have the tools and the resources right here? So small actions are what's going to move the needle. So this week's Try It is literally about rethinking something familiar, something that we maybe have put on repeat, but it needs a refresh. Pet-friendly living is really not about doing more. It's about doing more small things with intention. So remember, pet-friendly living isn't just something that we check off of a box. This is something that we want to weave into everything we do. And this event gives us great content, gives us great moments, and great ways that we can connect with our residents and our prospects. So try it this week and notice how this simple shift can really change the way residents show up and the way they feel about your community. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you on next week's Try It. All right, friend, that's your small action for this week. But don't let this idea sit. The Spark Resource Kit is at sparkwithsprout.com, and it's there to help you put this into action with a lot less stress. And remember, it's the small actions that build strong communities and even stronger managers. I'll see you guys next time.